Psychology says people who have no friends are often misunderstood, not broken, not antisocial, and not failures. In many cases, their brain works in a way that makes normal social life feel draining, shallow, or simply unnecessary. This is not a flaw, but a difference in cognitive and emotional processing that affects how social energy is experienced. And if you've gone long periods without friends, there are real psychological reasons behind it that are grounded in research and human behavior explained clearly by Dr. Sophia.*1. You have zero tolerance for fake people. If you have few or no friends, you probably can't stand being around fake personalities. People who wear masks, who gossip, who manipulate, or who shift behavior based on convenience. Research shows that as we become more self-aware, our tolerance for inauthentic behavior drops dramatically because the brain becomes better at detecting inconsistencies. You'd rather be completely alone than sit through shallow conversations with someone. It's performing instead of being real. Most social circles are full of people who smile to your face and talk behind your back. And over time, the mind learns to recognize these patterns quickly. Your brain picks up on manipulation, lies, and hidden motives instantly through tone, micro-behaviors, and emotional cues. So you keep your circle small, not because you're antisocial, but because you're protecting your peace, mental clarity, and emotional balance. *2. You prefer depth over quantity in every relationship. People without friends aren't avoiding relationships. They're avoiding surface-level relationships that feel empty and repetitive. Research shows that individuals with deeper thinking patterns prefer quality over quantity because their minds seek meaning rather than stimulation. They don't want small talk, fake friendships, or draining personalities that revolve around appearances and status. You can't stand small talk, the how's the weather conversations where nobody actually listens or connects. If a topic has no depth, no real substance, you're not engaging because your mind needs purpose. You only connect deeply, which is rare, and when it happens, it feels natural and effortless. If you want to talk about ideas, psychology, what drives people, what makes life meaningful, and how experiences shape identity. So instead of forcing connections that feel empty, you choose to stay alone until you find something real, stable, and emotionally intelligent. *3. Your brain needs more recovery time after social interaction. Some people naturally have a more sensitive nervous system, meaning social situations drain them faster even if the interaction is positive. Psychology calls this high social sensitivity, and it affects how stimuli are processed. After interacting, your brain needs longer breaks to recharge and return to baseline. This doesn't mean you dislike people or fear connection. Your brain simply burns more energy during social contact because it processes more information at once. While extroverts gain energy from being around others, every conversation costs you something mentally and emotionally. You process information more deeply, pick up on more emotional cues, notice subtle changes in behavior, and analyze interactions on multiple levels. You conserve social energy because for you, it's a limited resource that must be managed wisely. After socializing, you need complete solitude to recover, reflect, and reset your nervous system. *4. You're extremely independent and don't need external validation. Many people with no friends don't rely on social validation to feel good or worthy. Research shows this is called low social dependency, which means self-esteem is internally regulated rather than externally driven. You can entertain yourself, solve problems alone, and find comfort within your own mind without constant reassurance. Instead of needing a circle around you, you create your own world filled with interests, routines, and inner stability. Don't rely on others for validation, entertainment, or motivation because your sense of self is already grounded. This makes you seem distant, but it's actually strength, emotional maturity, and self-sufficiency. Your standards for friendship are extremely high, and you don't let just anyone into your personal space or inner life. While most people collect acquaintances to avoid loneliness, you're selective about who gets access to your time, energy, and trust. 5 Past experiences taught you to think twice before trusting. People with no friends often have one thing in common: a past experience that made them cautious and observant. This could be betrayal, childhood neglect, emotional abandonment, or being surrounded by the wrong people at a vulnerable time. Psychology shows that once trust is broken, the brain becomes protective and selective as a survival response. You think twice before giving someone access to your life because your mind remembers patterns that caused pain. You've been burned before, so now you observe longer, listen more, and rush less. You test people before you trust them, watching consistency rather than words. This creates what psychologists call a trust threshold, a higher bar people must clear before you let them in, which reduces emotional risk and disappointment. Here's what this means. If you have few friends, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your mind works differently with more awareness, sensitivity, depth, and higher standards. You have a richer inner world, sharper intuition, and deeper self-awareness than most people around you. You value peace over noise and meaning over attention. Sometimes the people with the strongest minds walk alone for a while, not because they are lost, but because they are selective about where they belong. If you want more psychology videos that explain your personality in ways school never taught you, shared thoughtfully by Dr. Sophia, hit that subscribe button right now, because the next video might reveal something about yourself you've never realized.